Assalamu alaikum. My name is Gazim and this is Muslim Hustle. In this video, I'm going to cover 3 reasons why you should launch your business even though you might not feel ready for it. Reason number 1. So these reasons are going to be reasons why you should launch your business even though you're really internally deep inside you feel like you're not ready. The product, the art, whatever it is you're creating, the service is not ready to be launched. You've worked maybe on it for a couple months, you've thought about it all this time, but you just haven't been taking action and you are afraid to put it outside in the public and be open to criticism and essentially create your baby and throw it out there to see how the market responds. You're trying to achieve that, but you're having a difficult time. Reason number 1 why you should go ahead and do it and publish it and get yourself out there even though you don't feel ready is because you don't know if it's going to work. Now that may sound demotivating, but it's a simple fact of the matter. A lot of businesses launch, spend all this time, money, effort, heartache, and then they fail because the market doesn't respond, their product, business, whatever it is that they were trying to serve just does not work. The market doesn't want it, is not ready for it, or whatever reason is the case. So you don't really know if your product or idea is going to be successful. That's why you should launch as soon as possible. The idea is that you want to have a minimum viable product that can be launched out there and the market can validate it and can say, yes, this is something that I'm willing to pay for, or no, and they can ignore you and move on with their life. The point for you is that the win for you, if you approach it this way, is that you will spend least amount of time, least amount of money, and least amount of effort. So instead of thinking about, oh, I need to perfect this idea, you just go ahead and launch it and get market feedback. So if you're trying to launch a website, a membership website, or something different, what you want to do is you want to throw yourself out there, capture emails, and figure out whether anybody is willing to give you something as simple as their email address in order to be notified of your launch later on. On to reason number 2. Reason number 2 is that you don't want to waste your time and money. Your most valuable commodity is your time. So don't waste that on a business idea, concept. Month after month, day after day, you're working on it and you're just too afraid to launch it because of criticism and whatnot. Second thing is you really don't want to spend a lot of money. Now in this day and age, we have such amazing technologies, alhamdulillah, that we shouldn't really waste 5,000-10,000 on a business concept and try to perfect it in a sense and think that, oh, once we launch it, it's going to be amazing. Because at the end of the day, the whole time and money you're wasting and spending might be a waste because you just do not know what's going to happen until you actually throw your idea over the wall, let the public comment on it, launch it, and get feedback this way. Otherwise, you're just wasting your most precious commodity, time, and with it, money and effort. And really, with all this time, you could be doing something much more productive with your life. Some of the simple strategies that you could do is, like I said, you could create a simple website that just says, enter your email here about and get notified of our launch date. You could create a Facebook page, which is free and simple to do. There's many website tools that allow you to create a simple website, such as Squarespace, Weebly, and many ones you can just Google yourself and find out what they enable for you. Reason number 3 is do not try to make your idea perfect. Because once again, you will waste your time, money, and it will need to be tweaked. Right now, the problem is that you have a concept of a problem that you're trying to solve for a customer. You're hoping that they're going to pay for your problem, for your solution rather. You hope that their problem is so big that they're going to come to your solution and be like, wow, I really need this. But you simply don't know. You don't know if that's the case. That's why you should launch and not try to perfect your solution. You should launch and get feedback. This way, if the customer comes and they're like, I like what you're trying to do, except it needs to be done a little bit differently here, a little bit differently here, and then I would pay you X amount for it. that's the position you want to be in. Because sometimes what we do as creatives, as people who are trying to launch a business, we come up with these ideas. We're like, okay, it's almost ready, but what if the customer needs this? So we're like, okay, let's create that. What if the customer needs this? We're like, oh, that doesn't work. We need to create that. And we spend all this time and money and effort and heartache trying to make a fictitious customer that's just in our head. We're trying to make them happy, even though we don't really know how the real customer, the one with the money on their hands, are going to react to your product. Another reason is critics. We're simply too afraid to throw ourselves out there and be like, this is my baby, I created this, go ahead and judge it. We're really terrified of that. It makes sense. We don't want to be criticized. So we try and make it, improve it. We're like, oh, my website is almost ready, it just needs that picture to be tweaked a little bit here. The brightness on that thing is a little bit off, or the storefront or something like that is a little bit off if you're doing a physical product. The problem is, it's never going to be perfect, you know? And that's why you should launch, get real feedback, and improve. If your product really solves a problem, people will buy it even if it's not perfect. If your service solves a problem, people will come to you and ask for you for your service even though it's not perfect. It has to be good enough. Minimum viable product means it has to be functioning at a minimum level in order to solve a pain that you're trying to solve. So don't waste your time and launch your business right now. Lastly, I just want to talk about a little bit about MuslimHustle.com. Muslim Hustle, the idea has been in my head for quite a while now, and really the goal is to capture the ideas, the lessons that I'm learning outside, and share it with you. And my real intention is to bring successful Muslim businesses, successful people who have Muslim projects, who have dawah projects, whatever it is they're doing that's interesting, bring them on this platform, ask them to teach you so that you can learn a lesson about how brother so-and-so is doing this, how sister so-and-so is doing that, and you can learn and apply it to your business. Now, I have been thinking about this for a long time. It is about time for me to actually launch this, and I know this video is not perfect, not even close, but this is me trying to apply my own lessons that I'm teaching you and launch it even though I really don't feel ready. The website as of this recording is not even launched, even though I'm a guy that creates websites, so I feel a little bit nervous about that, but I set a deadline and I'm going to go with it, inshallah. This is my goal.